Hello and welcome to the second round for PARL at Canada. Today we've about the same attendance as last week. Probably like another driver or two extra, which is pretty good. People starting to ready up now. Then we can actually get into qualifying. Just give me 2 seconds so I can link the comms into the chat for everyone. Okay, so just a few people are just gonna get, well, everyone, not a few people, everyone's just gonna get their setups and then we should be away to properly commence the start of qualifying. Okay, just make sure my voice is actually on share. Okay. Well, no one is actually out yet, which is interesting. I kind of expected people to be out already. I apologize if you can hear my PlayStation in the background. It's kind of like a jet engine. Actually I have a disc in it. I'm gonna take that out. Might make it quieter. I'm not sure if it will, but it might do. Okay, so the only one who's actually came out is a flip-flop. We actually a few more people coming out now, which is pretty good. To be honest, with the grid that we have in right now, I'd be kind of expecting Ghosts to be getting that pole and then converting it to a win. Iceman, I know Iceman is quick around here as well. He's not actually came out yet, but I know Iceman is quick around Canada. I have seen Flip Flop before do well around Canada as well, and I know that Chaos is quick as well. But I kind of expect Ghosts to get a pole and convert it to a win. Looking at the rest, like the two people to finish off the podium, probably Chaos, Iceman, Legende could also be up there as well. Taze, Dochi, I'm not really sure who would be taking the two podium places, the two remaining podium places. If I were to say it honestly, I'd probably be looking at Legende for second, and then Iceman for third, I think. But as I said, it's very close, so any one of these drivers could take a win. But I think that Ghost has a little bit of an advantage around here. And Sweeney's actually gets a penalty for something. Where is his name? There it is. I'm not sure why he just got a penalty. I highly doubt that it was deserved, because usually when penalties are given out in this game they're not deserved, but he has a 5 place grid drop. Yellow flags in sector 1, probably people just getting out of the way of the cars. It seems like Flip Flop isn't on a lap, he's in gear 8, I'm not sure why, unless that's a glitch. Legende is the first one to actually finish a lap. He's on the medium tire. Speaking of medium tires, I need to actually get some of this stuff up on the screen for you. He's going to be on an in lap now. He's 8/10 slower. Next across the line I think is Flip Flop, but it seems like he's not gonna. This isn't a lap that he's gonna do, I'm not sure. Yeah, no, I think it's just glitching. So he probably is on a lap. So, of course he's on the softs, so you'd expect him. No, he's gonna actually come in. It seems like he has got the glitch though, with the revving out gearbox. Taze just comes out there. Iceman still hasn't actually came out, he's still in the pit. Wide Load Billy. There have been a few changes to the driver lineups just because someone wasn't able to race here, so there was a little change. Wide Load Billy used to be a reserve. He's now got a seat at Red Bull, and that he's taking Sweeney's seat, and then Sweeney's has been transferred over to the Alfa Romeo, and then Mago, who used to be in the Mercedes, has been transferred to Williams, and then Taze has been transferred up to Mercedes with Ghosts. So yeah, just a small few changes, not too major. Just gonna grab my phone to actually see the chat. So far no one's actually said anything, so yeah, Dutchy is on an out lap right now. He is someone who I would expect to be challenging for a podium. Yeah, not actually a great lap from Legende, even though he was on the mediums. He's a few seconds down, so probably just trying to set an installation lap maybe. I do know that he can go quicker. And Chaos goes on the hards with an 11.5, so that was, considering he is on the hards, I'd say that was an alright lap. I don't have anyone else who set a lap on hards to actually compare that time to, but I think that's a pretty good time. A few people, and Dutchy losing the back end there, just about keeps it on track. He's on the medium tires, so he probably won't. Yeah, he won't be challenging for pole unless he switches over to the softs. But yeah, Ghosts, very good lap. I'd consider a good lap around like a 109.1, 109.2. He's smashed that with an 8.7, so he's way out in first in theory, unless someone can actually challenge that. I mean, no one has actually gone out and done a lap on the softs. Flip Flop is on the softs right now, so he'll be trying to challenge for that pole. As Dutchy actually boxes, so he's just probably trying to get some laps in, or maybe gotten validated, I'm not sure. And Iceman has actually came out now. He's on the mediums. It will actually be interesting as well to see what tyres people opt to start on as well, because a one stop and a two stop, both strategies are like usable. Like there's no major deficit between a two stop and a one stop, so he could be going for so far Ghost's setting that time on the softs. He's not going to be able to do a one stop, I don't think, unless he can really stretch the tires out and go from softs to hards, which is probably possible. Chaos actually seems to have been on his own, that he just spun the exit of the hairpin, and Jamie actually joins back, so that's good for him. He's got 8 minutes left, so he should be able to get about 2 laps in if he can take back control of his car. Iceman on a lap. There's someone just behind him. I'm not sure who that is. I'm not sure if they're on a lap either. That's Flip-Flop, so it seems like they're both on the lap at the same time, but I think that Flip-Flop is actually going to benefit quite a lot in this straight, because he's far enough away that he wasn't held up in the first 2 sectors, but for this final sector he's going to get some slipstream, so he'll be benefited quite a lot in the final sector. So he could be going for, oh no, he is going to pit. I'm not sure if people are suffering from invalidations or anything, but a lot of people seem to be pitting as Taze just retires, so he's just called it a day. And Ghost is on another flying lap. He's going to be trying to improve on his the lap that he's already set, and he's definitely corner cut there, and he's just about gotten to the pit lane. That was very lucky from him to get into the pit lane. And the Legende seems like he still hasn't improved on his lap. He's still on a 13.5. 2 people behind Ghost though, both on hards, so they could be going for an easy 1 stop and could be challenging Ghost, who's on a 2 stop. So for Ghost's sake, he'll have to get off the line well and start pulling away early on. Seems like a few people are on the pit right now. Play Dutchy is on a lap now once again. If he can do anything on those mediums, in theory he could be going for second. Someone who has actually gone second is Iceman up there. Pretty competitive time, I can't lie. It is pretty good time on the mediums, and if he did go for the softs, I don't really think that he has to, because he could get a pretty good 1 stop off that, and also get a bit of a quicker 2 stop, because he'll be on the softer tire for the end. And Play Dutchy on the hards goes second fastest, so maybe I was wrong in saying that that Dutchy, well, not Dutchy specifically, but wrong in saying that Ghost was an easy person to pick for pole, because he's just done that lap on hard tires, and I like to think that there's around a second between the hards and the softs, so if he can improve by about a second, he could put himself in that pole position and take it away from Ghost. So yeah, I've already put down Ghosts for first place, Legende second, and Iceman third, if I have a good memory. So maybe I got that wrong, because Dutchy's just done that lap on hard tires, so if he were to pit for softs, he could go for the pole position, and he doesn't even need to, because he's in second on amazing tires to be able to start a race on. And very good for him. Once again, Ghosts out on those soft tires. There's yellow flags somewhere. Seems like it's been cleared up or whatever. So yeah, Flip-Flop and Sweeney's actually still haven't still hasn't set laps. Iceman retiring there, up in second. I'm not sure, maybe he was the one who caused the yellow flags and crashed, I'm not sure. But at the moment he seems to be in a pretty good position. And there's yellow flags in sector 2. Once again, I don't know what they're for, But anyway, Ghost and Chaos goes second there on the soft tires, a 9-0, nearly a 9-1. About 3 tenths off, I'd say. I think that is. Off Ghost, so he's gonna have to find time. I don't think he will be able to find time because he's most likely not going to be able to pit again and get out on a new fresh set of soft tires, but it's a good lap nonetheless. As Flip-Flop just retires there, and most likely in sector 1. And now we have Legende on the soft tires. He's on a lap, so at the end of this lap I would expect him to be challenging for that pole position. I don't think he'll have enough for pole. I'd say it would be a lap that puts him in second, but he could prove me wrong. Ghost has set a very, very good lap, so it's going to be a tough one to beat. Coming into the... No, he's boxing, so he's not actually going to set a lap. I think if he did finish that lap, he could have went second at least, but he decided that maybe the medium tire is the better strategy. And then now I think the only one out on track, the only one out on track at the moment is Dushy. And then you have Chaos and Ghosts in the pit. He's on an outlap at the moment. He's just slowing down, most likely going to go for another lap. And he's going to be going for it now. It seems like he didn't get involved for the next lap, so he's going to be able to set a lap on those mediums. And with the lap he set, I don't think that he could challenge for second. And it's going to only be Legende, the other person who could challenge for a higher position. So I don't think he should finish the lap unless he would prefer to start on the mediums, because the hard tire would be a great tire to start on for him, especially being up in third. But it's completely up to him if he wants to start on them or not. He seems to have taken that pretty well. Into the hairpin. Doesn't go down to first gear for a bit of extra turning. That's something that I would personally, I'd prefer first gear, but he's stayed in second, which is I think it might lose you a little bit of time because you don't get the car rotated as well, but he's gonna come up to the line to finish his lap, and he goes second on the medium compound tire. Great lap from him to have done that. And Chaos is out now. He's going to be on the soft tires, so he's going to be going for that pole position. He's going to need a tiny improvement to take the second off Dutchy. He's gone wide. I think that's his lap ruined already, but he's going to keep going on to try and improve. Maybe he made a mistake on his original lap, so he can improve. I'm not sure. Lap. So he's going to be trying to improve his time. Dutchy's not going to be going for another lap, and qualifying is complete now. So this is, anyone who's on a lap is going to have to finish that lap, and that's going to be the last lap of their qualifying session. And there's a yellow flag in sector 3, and that's just that's just someone getting out of the way. Ghost actually retires. He wasn't able to set a faster time, but Chaos is going to be the final one to cross the line, as long as he's not gotten validated. And the rest of the lap after the first few corners was good. Yes, it was good, and he's actually being close to getting first, but not close enough. Just it's actually been a very, very close tight battle for that pole. And I kind of regret not putting Chaos up there, because now Chaos is challenging for the pole. He's going for another lap. So it's going to be up to Chaos to see if he can make that small improvement. It's like he's only 0.04 of a second off pole. He needs a small. He's gone very deep, so maybe that helps his exit. Maybe he prefers that line, I'm not sure, but I assume that it loses quite a bit of time. So it's all down to this lap to decide who goes pole. Everyone else has finished the lap, and no, he just crashes himself out. And okay, I don't know why that happened, but it seems Agenda was able to get in another time. This is the same thing that actually happened last week, because last week it was really weird like this. But anyway, Legende takes the pole position, and then it's Ghost on the finishing the front row of the grid, and then it's Chaos in third, all on the soft tire. Then Dutchy and Iceman both on the mediums. Dutchy very close for being on mediums, only 0.3 off. Iceman down in fifth. Taze in sixth on the hard tire. Wide Old Billy in seventh, also on the hard tire. And then Flip Flop Sweeney's and Jamie didn't get to set a time. So now we'll be just waiting for everyone to get their setups. Then we'll be away. Well, they won't really be getting the setups unless they didn't set a time. I'm not sure how that works, but they'll be sorting out their strategies anyway. And it's going to be Legende who leads them away for the formation lap from Ghosts, who honestly I put down for pole, but it's Legende who's taking it away. So far my predictions don't look horrible. Iceman is down in fifth. I predicted him for third, so hopefully he can get up so my predictions look better. But the two guys who I put for 1-2 are going to be running a 1-2 off the start. If they can keep that, that remains to be seen. It was actually very close between the top three guys. Like, the top three were only, like, there was under a tenth between them. So expect a good fight between these three, and also Dutchy, he's in fourth on those mediums. So he could be a contender for the race win. Everyone just gonna warm up their tires. Agende presumably is going to slow down a little bit to try and back up the grid so he doesn't lose out in tire temperatures. He's actually let them go through. Everyone's kind of getting piled up here, and now it's the AI is taking over. To be honest, I don't know why they don't make every car Ghost on the formation lap, but that's just how it is, unfortunately. Hopefully this camera angle stays and we don't get a bad one. And there's also going to be the glitch where we can't change the camera angle. Yeah, there's a glitch. Real ones, but the lights are out now and away we go. And in the background there, Jamie's already spun White Billy seems to have got tangled up as well, but it's Legende who leads out of turn 2 from Ghosts, from Chaos. The top 4 staying in the same order that they were. In the background, Flip Flop just about gets past Taze, and it still seems like he's challenging Taze, challenging Flip Flop, but he's not able to make a move, and Sweeney's has made it around the outside. Now Sweeney's is gonna challenge Flip Flop. He's gonna be on the outside. He's hit the wall and he's got some wing damage from it, so that's not going to help him at all. Yeah, it seems, yeah, the top 4 still the same top 4 that we had at the start. There is going to be Slipstream helping them all close up a little bit, and then on lap 3 we're gonna have some DRS, but it seems like Chaos at the moment is quite close to Ghost. This is going to be for second in this race, and he's not quite close enough, and he can't make a move at the moment. Yeah, Dutchy seems to be falling back a little bit, so obviously the soft tires are coming in handy for the top 3. They're gonna need them to come in handy, and as Chaos actually already has a 3-second time penalty, so he's gonna have to hope that the 2 ahead of him gets time penalties as well, and that he doesn't lose a position because of it.
Aspect not racing.
Someone in the chat. No, I'm not. I'm on comms. Anyway. Yeah, everyone seems to be kind of following a single file line, really. No one's able to make any moves. Just check. Yeah, Jamie and Wideload seem to have got tangled up in turn 1. Unfortunately I don't have a replay or anything of that, but they've lost out quite significantly. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, the top 3, actually I need to bring up this menu because it would be nice to see stuff about their lap and things like that. Okay, yeah, the top 3 seem to be pulling away a little bit from the rest of the pack. They're still in the same order that they started on. This DRS is in activation for this lap, so they're going to get DRS on each other, so that will help them to close up. No actual overtakes seem to be taking place. Down in 6th, there is an overtake. Sweeney's on Taze. Sweeney's just about getting the move up into 6th place, or defending, I'm not actually sure. These 3 are actually quite close together though, and it seems like Tay's gonna try and come back at him. Not quite close enough though, and on the exit there's someone spun. Chaos has spun and he's out of the race, and Taze has hit into him, and Taze has got wing damage. She's gonna have to pit. I'm not sure what happened there, but Chaos is out. He was a contender for 3rd place. Contender for the race win, really. I don't know what happened, but he's been taken out of the race, and Taze has to pit as well. So, very unfortunate for Taze, just getting collected in that incident. And Jamie Morris retires there. I would have continued, to be honest, because you never know what opportunities you could get, but he has retired from the race. So yeah, it seems like it's a 2-way fight for the win at the moment. Legende ahead of Ghosts. DRS and activation for Ghosts, but he's not able to close up enough to take to get any opportunity to overtake for the race win. I mean, he could be thinking about the rest of the race and just keeping behind, just sticking in DRS to save fuel, but it seems like he's closer than he has been. Just gonna go on board with him. He's closed up quite a lot, so we could see a move potentially into turn 1. If he gets a good exit, it's pretty equal there. He's closing on Legende, though. He could have a move to the inside, but he sticks back. Very mature, and not to just stick it up the inside. But yeah, the DRS has allowed him to close up quite a bit, along with a bit of slipstream. Once again activating DRS, but he's not close enough. Judging by how close he was last lap, I think he could have a move into the final corner, the final chicane. It's a very awkward place to make an overtake, but if he thinks he can do it, it's going into first gear to get a bit more turning, which is something that I would recommend. He opens up DRS. He's not quite close enough to make a move at the moment. Opens up DRS once again, but he's probably going to have to wait another lap or so to be able to make a move. And actually, I'm gonna check. Yeah, Legende doesn't actually have that much ERS, and since Ghost has been in his slipstream, he's been able to save ERS, and the deficit making up for it in being able to open DRS, he's making it up for his ERS. And Legende out in front, he has to use his ERS to be able to keep in front. So we could see near the end of the race that could come into play unless Legende can start saving a bit more. He closes up a lot. Legende seems to have just broke a bit early there. But Jordan isn't able to be close enough just yet. He's in the slipstream, he's closing quite a lot. He could have a move into the final chicane. He sticks it up the inside and he gets the move done, but Legende is going to be right behind him with a better run on him. He could have a look around the outside. No, he sticks behind, and the race leader has changed and Ghost is up into first place. Going down a little bit of the field, battle for 5th. Iceman just behind Sweeney's, and it seems like Flip-Flop has been able to pull away a little bit, but there is definitely a battle for 5th. Iceman seems to have got a bit worse of an exit, not close enough either to be able to make a move, but he's gonna have DRS down the back straight. We'll see if he's close enough to be able to make a move. Sweeney seems to have got a bad exit, so we're gonna go on board with Iceman. He could have a move into the final chicane. He's closing quite a lot. Could he have a look down the inside? No, he's gonna hang back and leave that overtake for a later date. And yeah, Legende there is actually came to the pit lane. and he's gonna rejoin behind the battle for what is now third, but really it's a battle for fifth. And Flip Flop also came into the pit, so it was a Toro Rosso double stack, but they were far enough from each other to the point where it didn't hinder either of them. And there's a virtual safety car, and Wide Billy has crashed out. So I think the people who pitted just there probably got a benefit, but then again, at the same time, they could be getting negatively affected by the safety car if they've already pit, because the people who haven't pitted are able to stretch their tires a tiny bit more. It is only a virtual though, and not a full safety car, which would throw quite a curveball into this race. Dutchy, of course, on the mediums. He started on the mediums, so he's going to take the lead for now. And Iceman starting on those mediums as well. He's going to take second place. They both can do one-stops. To be honest, I would be recommending a one-stop for both of them, because it would be better for them. Dutchy especially, I think a one-stop would be a better strategy for him, because he's got a 12-second gap, and if he can bring them long enough, he can put himself in the same situation as the people who are doing a two-stop near the end of this race. And there was actually an overtake there for second place, but I didn't get to see it. Flip Flop has actually left the session there as well, so seem to be losing people left, right and centre here. Down to 6 drivers left, and now I missed an overtake once again. This is just great. Iceman got overtaken by Ghost on fresher tyres. So now it's going to be Ghost and Agenda chasing after Dutchy, who's going to be on more worn tyres. Ghost is actually, by pitting a lap later, has got 1 lap fresher tyres, so he's going to be able to have a better time taking his tyres a little bit longer. So we could see that making a bit of a difference. Iceman is in the slipstream. He is on also more worn tyres, so I don't think he's going to be able to make a move, even with DRS or anything in activation. Seems like Legende is pulling away from Ghost a little bit though. So that is a thing that is happening, I guess. Seems like he got the track there, but no penalty came up. And Ghost is pitted again. He's in for his second stop, I'm pretty sure. Go to stops once he comes. Yeah, he has to get a front wing change. I'm not sure where that came from, but he has had to pit for a new front wing, so he's been taken out really for a win, and now the win is going to really be between Legende and Dutchy. Dutchy with a 10-second lead, and we see all in qualifying that he's only 3/10 off the top guys on a step softer of a tyre. Legende, of course, is still going to be catching him, so we'll see which strategy is better between the 2-stop and the 1-stop. Yeah, now Ghost has been put in a fight that he won't want to be involved in, but unfortunately with his wing damage he is going to be involved in this fight, and it's going to be a fight for 4th between Sweeney's, Taze and Ghosts. all within a second of each other, going one by one, as Dutchy actually gets a penalty there. No fights up the front. Doesn't look like anyone's going to make any moves anytime soon, so I'm going to actually check penalties really quick. Hopefully, I'm actually going to wait, just in case. The two Mercedes teammates, I'd assume that Taze is going to let his teammate through, because he's going to be on fresher tyres and he's going to be going to the end most likely, but if he does or not, we'll see. Also, a thing to consider is that Taze is on those mediums, so in theory he should be on the quicker tyre. Yeah, I'd say 8 lap old mediums versus 1 lap old hards. He's going to be on cold hards. They're probably going to be similar pace, but I do think that Taze should let his teammate through to be able to get maximum points. But that is, of course, up to Taze if he wants to do that or not. As Iceman is actually boxing now, but we're going to be spectating a fight between the two Mercedes drivers, and it seems like Taze is just let his teammate through on the straight. He knows that he's going to be a bit quicker on those fresher tyres, so now we can go and chase after Sweeney's, and Iceman is actually going to be coming out near these guys, and he comes out just ahead, so he gets out in third place just about. So that was a great time to stop, because if he left it any longer he may not have came out ahead, but he is going to be on cold softs compared to Sweeney's warmed up mediums, so we could see Sweeney's going for an overtake. He's very close. So Iceman's going to defend to the inside, Sweeney's going to be on the outside. They go side by side now. Sweeney's seems like he's got the move done, but they're still side by side, and Iceman's probably going to have a look down the inside of the hairpin. No, he hangs back there, and Sweeney's gets a bad exit once again. We've seen him do that before this race. I'm not sure if Iceman got damaged. I don't think he did. So it was a great pit stop for Iceman, but it hasn't worked out, because now Ghost is going down his inside, and he's lost out 2 positions on 1 lap. And I kind of missed it, but Dutchy's has pit now, and he's on soft tyres, so he's going to be on fresher tyres compared to Legende, and in theory, depending on how long Legende can actually bring those tyres, I think Dutchy could be well, actually depends on how far Dutchy can really bring his tyres, because if he can bring them a bit longer, then he can put them on equal tyres for the end. So yeah, the battle for the lead is certainly not over, although we have lost Chaos from the race, who was in contention for a win, and Ghost getting the win damage didn't help him out at all. Looking back further down the grid, Ghost's having a look at Sweeney's, wasn't able to make a move, and now Iceman is going to be down his inside for turn 1, and he gets the move done. So now his tyres probably have warmed up a little bit now, and he's going to be able to start chasing after Sweeney's now and take that podium off him. I don't think that a second place will be on for any of these drivers unless we get a full safety car, because the gap from Sweeney's to Dutchy is 20 seconds. Iceman on Sweeney's, he's close but not close enough, and he's going to hand back, probably going to wait for the straight unless he can make a move into the hairpin. He gets a much better exit. Of course, he's on much fresher tyres. He seems to get a little bit worse of an exit compared to Sweeney's, but the safe stream's going to kick in. He's going to activate DRS, And now into the final chicane. He's going to be down the inside of Sweeney's, and not quite enough. And now Ghost has been given a run on him as well. Ghost did have DRS, so now they're going to both go side by side, and Ghost just about gets the position. Iceman switches to the outside though, and they're still gonna be side by side, and he has to just about concede that position to Ghosts, and he drops back down to 5th place. Seems like Sweeney's hasn't really been in much of the battle for this 4th place, to be honest, because everyone behind him has been battling. He's just been doing his own thing, really. But I think that's going to change, because now Ghosts is on those hard tires. They're going to, mediums aren't going to be going off at this point, but hards that are fresher as well are going to eventually give more grip. And seems like he's having a look. He's gonna fake to the outside, go to the inside, and he pushes Sweeney's a little bit off the track, but he gets the move done, and he's up into the podium place. So now he can try and pull away from Sweeney's. If he can or not, we'll see, of course. And who's in 3rd of this race changes. That seems like a pretty big battle. Sweeney's having a look down the inside, but not able to do anything. I'm not really sure how good of a camera angle that is. Sweeney's dives it down the inside. That is, yeah, no, that's a horrible camera angle. But Sweeney's dives it down the inside of Ghosts and gets the move done. And he's back up into 3rd place. To be honest, Iceman really not able to use the tires to his advantage. He came out on fresh softs. He hasn't been able to get in front of these guys and pull away yet. And it seems like Taze is maybe going to have a look at passing Iceman. He's a little bit too far back at the moment. Taze really has just been watching all these battles, and up ahead Sweeney's had a look at Ghosts but wasn't able to make a move to put him ahead of him, so Ghost just about keeps that position. Seems the driving is getting a little bit aggressive. I'm not sure if that's a bad thing or not, but people are trying to go for pretty much every move they can. And Sweeney's right up the back of Ghost now, so he could be he might be able to re-overtake Ghost to take 3rd place in this race. 15 laps left to go of this Canadian Grand Prix, and still we don't really know who's going to win the race, and we don't know who's going to take this 3rd position. Sweeney's is on the back of Ghosts. He's going to take to the outside, and he's not able to keep it side by side, and he's had to take the escape road there, and he's lost the position to Iceman. Taze a little bit too far back, not able to capitalize on Sweeney's mistake, and he stays 6th. Iceman closing up. He's on those soft tires, but they will be eventually going off, and he will have to make another stop, so he's going to be wanting to make this move as soon as possible. He's going to be on the outside, which will turn for the inside for the next corner, and it seems like he's just about made the move, and that has made it easier for Sweeney to overtake, because he's been put off by the overtake Iceman did on him. And Sweeney's nearly got to overtake him, but not quite close enough to be able to do it. But he's in the slipstream with DRS coming down to the final chicane. He's going to be on the outside, and he just concedes that position. He's not able to fight for it. Ghost closing up on Iceman, but he's not close enough to contest his third place. So now what Iceman really needs to do is start pulling away from this pack, because he will have to make another stop. I think he might have to think about making that stop a bit earlier than he wants to, and he's gonna have to hope that these guys have a few battles behind them, which will allow him to start pulling away, because DRS on this track is quite OP. I'm not gonna lie. It seems like he is actually starting to pull away. A little bit of a gap beginning to form, and Ghost isn't going to have DRS for the back straight, and Sweeney's right behind him, will have DRS, so he might be able to have a look, but he's not quite close enough. And Taze, he's just been watching these battles go on this whole time, but he seems to be a little bit closer now to Sweeney's, so he might be able to have a look. He's in DRS, not quite close enough. Well, any of these four drivers aren't really close enough to make a move on anyone. So yeah, it seems at the moment that Iceman is pulling away. Dutchy going back to the front. We've really not actually been watching this fight, because there has really been no battles, but Dutchy is up in second. He's 3.5 seconds behind Legende. He is closing. He has been closing this whole time. You would expect him to, and now he's going to box, so he's going to get an undercut on Legende. So we'll see where he comes out after he makes his pit stop. He should, in theory, come out quite a bit ahead of Iceman. And presumably, since Dutchy pit that lap, I'm gonna expect Iceman to also pit. But no, he stays out one more lap. Dutchy comes out, so he's 20 seconds back. I'd say that if he's not in Legende's pit stop window, he's going to be very close to be within Legende's pit stop window. He's going to be taking those tires to the end, as Dutchy actually gets a penalty there. 3 seconds for exceeding track limits. I'm not sure if Legende has any penalties, but if he doesn't, he seems to be in the running to take this win. For some reason it says that Dutchy's on mediums, but he's not. He's definitely on softs. And Taze seems to have got past Sweeney's, but Sweeney's seems like he pit. So that's kind of understandable. And I kind of expect Taze to be pitting for a pair of soft tires. I also expect Iceman to pit for another set of soft tires. He's going to stay out as he scrapes the wall there. And Taze also stays out. He's been 18 laps on those medium tires. They're probably screaming for help on his car, but he stays out another lap, and Iceman also stays out another lap. He's done 10 laps on those tires. Maybe he's trying to stretch distance so he can push on the final few laps. There will be 11 laps left, so it will be good for him to stretch it out. Dutchy has pitted a little bit early. I'm not sure if that's actually going to help him. Maybe he should have stayed out a few more laps. He was closing as well, so I think that's a little bit of a mistake, because he's going to have more worn tires for the end. Going back to a battle that's well, there isn't really a battle, to be honest, because until people start pitting, I expect Iceman to pit, but he's still not pitting, so he's going to stay out one more lap. I think he is going to pit now, because that means he would have taken, excuse me, he would have taken as far as 11 laps. So I think that is quite a length to take them, and he's going to have 10 laps left once he finishes this lap. So if he wanted to keep it even, he should box again, and he's going to have to box again because he can't take them to the end. There's no way he can take them to the end. So he's gonna have to pit now so he can start making gains on Ghosts. Taze will have to pit again as well. He's done 20 laps on those tires. There's no way he can go to the end. So I think he's really in a fight with Ghosts, who can go to the end. So if he doesn't pit this lap, I think it's going to be a mistake from him, because he needs to start making inroads. Sweeney's his pit there. He's put on another set of mediums. Maybe trying to go for the fastest lap point. As Ghosts is in, and he needs another wing change. So that means that Iceman really is in a comfortable 3rd place. So I don't really think he's going to be contested anymore, unless Taze can have a good final stint. Both Taze's and Iceman's tires are going to be screaming right now. And Legende has pit. He's come out ahead of Dutchy, and it seems like unless Dutchy can start closing in, Legende's used up a lot of his fuel, and he has pretty much no ERS left. So that could play into Dutchy's favour to take a win at Canada. As Legende, though, he just set the fastest lap of the race, so I'm not sure if Dutchy will be able to, because even with all the deficits that Legende has, he's still setting fast laps. So either he's not saving fuel right now, which I expect him to, because he has a yellow fuel tank in the bottom right, you'll see that. So he should be saving, and if he is saving, then it's going to be allowing Dutchy to catch up, because Dutchy won't need to save because he has plenty of ERS left, and he doesn't have a fuel indicator. So yeah, it seems like Dutchy is in a better position for the win. He's on 2 laps older tires, but he's also got benefits in his fuel and his ERS, so we could see how that goes for him. Ghost after his pit stop is quite far back, but Taze is quite close to him though, so we could see the 2 Mercedes fighting for that 4th place. And Sweeney's is quite far back at the moment, so he really is the best position. He's going to get a 6th, and he gets a 3-second time penalty there. So yeah, 2 battles, and then there's Iceman on his own in 3rd, and Sweeney's on his own down in 6th. I don't know how much of a different race it would have been if Jamie didn't get the wing damage, well, major damage on lap 1, and was like basically facing the wrong way at the first part of the race. And Flip Flop, if he didn't crash out, where would he be? Chaos, if he didn't crash out, would he be up for this win? Because he was up with Legende. If Ghost didn't get that wing damage, he could have been up for the win. So a lot of things going wrong for a lot of drivers. Nothing's really gone wrong for Legende so far. He's been leading comfortably ever since Ghosts had his issue with his wing. So yeah, it's going to be these two is going to fight for the lead. Play Dutchy is closing on Legende though, so I'm going to be expecting a fight between these two eventually, when he gets to close up enough. I'm just going to check the chat and see if anyone's actually said anything or not. Seems like no one has, so yeah. Yeah, it seems back at the rear end of the grid, Taze has lost out to Ghost a little bit. So seems Ghost is in a bit more comfortable of a position. Legende has gone wide there, and Dutchie's tires has just flipped to mediums, but they've went back to soft, so I'm not actually sure what tire he's on, to be honest. I think they're softs, but I'm not sure. Regardless though, Dutchie is closing. He's had a look into the final chicane, but he hasn't been able to make a move, so he's gonna have to hang back and wait for another opportunity. Yeah, his tires keep flipping. I'm honestly not sure what tire he's on. I'm gonna go with medium. I think they just flipped to mediums now again, and they're flipping constantly. This is a really weird glitch. But yeah, I'm gonna say he's on mediums. Initially I said he was on softs, and that it was a graphical glitch with the top left, but I'm not really sure. I think they're mediums. I'm gonna go with mediums anyway. Regardless, Dutchie has closed up quite a lot to Legende. Legende once again taking a wider line, which seems to give him better traction. But like last lap, Dutchie is closing on Legende. Not quite close enough to make a move at this point, but he's got a better exit. He's gonna have DRS. He's gonna be in overtake mode. In the ERS, he goes down the inside for turn 1. He's not quite close and not quite side by side enough to make a move, and he has to concede that position. But he's right behind Legende, so he's gonna be trying everything he can to get past. To be honest, it looks like he would be looking at a move anywhere that he sees an opportunity. There is going to be I think 3 laps left at the end of this lap. Once again very close, nearly hitting the back of him, and he's had to correct a slide. Just about kept it on the track. He's in the he will be in the slipstream, right behind Legende. He's a lot closer this time. He's opened up DRS. He's gonna be going down the inside for the final chicane, and he's got it done before the final chicane, and he's up into first place. And he'll have the second bite of the cherry as well. He's gonna have DRS for the second straight, so that'll allow him to keep ahead. He is on medium tires, those medium tires. 3 laps left of this Grand Prix, I think. 4 laps actually, including this one. So yeah, it seems like Dutchie has got far enough ahead. Sweeney's is going slowly. If he's going to be doing that, he should really retire. Going back to the fight for the lead though, he's actually going to be right ahead of these two, so I really hope he doesn't get in the way. I hope he doesn't hinder either of these two, who are both going for the lead. Dutchie seems to be pulling away a little bit from Legende. Legende still struggling with fuel and struggling with ERS. Dutchie seems to be perfectly fine on ERS and fuel. So actually this would be a great time. I'll actually make sure that, yeah, no moves. So this would be a great time to check if either of these two have any penalties. I know they have at least 3 each. Legende warning. That's not either of them. So Dutchie is 3. and then Dutchy has 6. Dutchy has 9, and then Legende, probably his name is probably going to pop up eventually because he did get a 3-second penalty. Dutchy has 12 now, and Legende got all his warnings on lap 32. He's got 3 seconds, so Dutchy has to pull a 9-second gap to take this win. I don't think that's possible at all, so it seems like on track it's gonna be Dutchy, but after penalties it's going to be Legende who takes the win. Yeah, Dutchy pulling away, but I don't think that it's going to be enough. Going back to the fight for 4th place, Sweeney's is retired since, but the fight for 4th place is still going on between the 2 Mercedes drivers. Taze is on fresh softs, 1 lap fresher softs than his teammate, who was on 8 laps old softs compared to Taze's 7. So we could see Taze having a look to take that 4th place off Ghosts as Sweeney's leaves the session. So we're down to 5. I mean, we already were before, but there's 5 people left. The fight for the lead, I would say, is pretty much over at this point. The fight for 3rd is pretty much over because Iceman has quite a good gap, but the fight for 4th is not. There's still that fight going on. Taze closing up on Ghosts, not quite close enough on this occasion to make a move on his Mercedes teammate. So it's gonna be down to the last lap. Up ahead, it seems like Dutchy's gonna take the win, but Legende is going to take it off him on penalties. Coming through the final chicane, I mean, Dutchy did everything right, really. He's taken the win, but it's Legende. Legende knows he's got the win. He's weaving across the line. He knows about the penalty, and he has got the win. So he is your race winner for the Canadian Grand Prix. Dutchy is going to be in 2nd, but not 1st, where he crossed the line. So unfortunate for him. Down in 3rd, quite far back from the top 2. Actually, in the background, there is still a fight going on for 4th place. Taze not quite close enough, so it's going to be Jordan who takes 4th ahead of Taze. So yeah, it was a pretty good race. A few people crashing out, unfortunate for them, because the few people that did crash out, few of them could have been challenging for the win, but unfortunately they weren't able to. So it's Legende who takes the win on the top step of the podium, and then it's Dutchy, the McLaren driver, in 2nd, who had the win but lost it on penalties, and then it's Iceman who's down in 3rd. So yeah, everyone actually who finished getting at least 1 penalty. So it's Legende who takes the win. 2 different race winners for the first 2 rounds. He takes the win from Dutchy in 2nd. A bit further down on track was Iceman in 3rd. Then there's Ghosts in fourth, just ahead of Taze, and then Sweeney's, Flip Flop, Wide Love Billy, Chaos, and Jamie Morris all retired. So I'm going to invite some people for interviews. So yeah, and I've just invited them for some podium interviews. I don't think Legende actually has a mic, so he's not going to be able to do interviews, but yeah, Legende doesn't have a mic, does he not? I don't think. Okay. So I guess we're just waiting for Dutchy to join then. Okay, seems like Dutchy's just went offline, so I guess it's gonna be only well, that was great voice crack. I guess it's only gonna be 2 people that I can actually interview, so I may as well invite Jay in. Yeah. Where is he? Okay. Yeah, I've just invited them. Who would I start with? I think I might wait for Jamie, because he was caught up in a crash at turn 1, so I want to ask him about that. Okay. We may as well start with you, Jordan, I guess. Of course, at the start, you were looking in a position to take a win, but it was obviously taken away from you. I didn't actually see exactly what happened, but I do know that you did get wing damage, so do you want to run us through your race?
Yeah, well, start of the race felt good. Well, I could have kept up with Legende, which I was doing, until the mediums kept with him. I came right out behind him, I think, when we went onto the mediums, and the first lap, literally as soon as I came out, I hit my wing on the exit of the second chicane, and I went straight back in to see if I could go for the hards to the end. Went on the hards, got wing damage again, and I ran with wing damage for about 12 laps with Leroy in that group. They went into softs, so I thought, yeah, why not, let's just go for softs and see if I can do anything with a fresh wing. Did that, kept ahead of Leroy. I thought he was going to get me with penalties, and then on the last lap he let me know he had another penalty, so I was able to keep P4.
Okay, hang on. Crap. Yeah, next track is Spain. How do you think that you'd be doing around Spain?
Well, this game I haven't really used. Like, the game on Spain, but last season I felt quite good, so hopefully it's decent.
Okay. Who's here? Yeah. I guess we may as well move on to Lee, and then finally with Iceman. At you're qualifying. I don't remember. I don't think you set a lap. I can't remember.
Did set a lap, but I didn't.
Okay. I honestly don't really remember that much about. Didn't really see like that much apart from near the end. So do you want to run me through how the start of your race was, and then like your race overall with your battles?
Can't even remember the start of the race, to be honest. I mean, overall my race was. I don't want to. I'm just a little bit. I'm pretty pissed, to be honest, because I know I could have done a lot better. So. My battles are fun, but I'm not gonna start the race, so.
Okay. Next track being Spain. Are you good around there, or do you think? You think?
Win.
Okay. That's quite ambitious, but like, if you think you can go for it, then absolutely go ahead.
No, it's not my best track in this game, so from what I've done so far.
Okay, good luck to you in Spain, and I guess good luck for going for that win. Finally, Iceman, are you here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your race, you started, I think, up in third, was it, or fourth? Fourth. Yeah. Your qualifying wasn't like the absolute best in terms of time. You were, I think, about a second off pole. Whereas Dutchy ahead of you on mediums was about like 4/10, I think. So maybe not the best qualifying for you, but your race, you kind of eventually, after the starting stages, you kind of settled into a third place. So do you want to describe your race in as much detail as possible?
Well, came off the line. Got in P, finished third.
I know that's all I'm going to get out of you. You're the middle of the race to the end, after you got in front, after you made the move like properly for third and you started pulling away. Quite a comfortable third.
Yeah.
Okay. Next track, Spain. Do you think you could do well around there?
I can do okay.
Great. Yeah. A man of many words. And he's gone. Okay. Yeah, that has been the Canadian Grand Prix round 2 for PARL. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully we'll see you next time for round 3 at Spain.